After accepting death, what does a man have to gain by clinging to life in a world already doomed? Probably nothing at all, yet it's impossible to let go entirely, even when you know it's too late to mend the broken pieces, to rewrite the regrets that haunt you. By choosing those 700 extra days, I proved to myself that I hadn't truly surrendered to the end as I believed. The illusion of peace shattered, revealing the stubborn spark that refuses to fade. The day the doctor sat at my bedside and told me how little time I had left, I wasn't shocked. At 90, I'd felt the shadow creeping closer with every creaking joint, every labored breath. Each year had whispered it louder. This body, this vessel that carried me through love and loss, was winding down. By then, it was almost a relief, like finally reaching the end of a long, weary road, but nothing prepares you for the absolute certainty of it. The doctor's words hung in the air like a final verdict, months at best before my heart gave out for good. It wasn't the physical decay that clawed at me most, the aches in my bones, the fog in my mind, but the flood of regrets that rushed in behind it. All the moments I'd let slip away, the words left unsaid, the paths not taken. As an old man, you feel them every day, but when the curtain is truly falling, when there's no more time to fool yourself with someday, it hits like a wave crashing over you, drowning you in what could have been. I lay in that hospital bed, waiting for the end, surrounded by sterile walls and the beep of machines that mocked my fading pulse. No visitors came, no children, no friends, no echoes of the life I'd built. My son, distant and busy with his own family, had called once, his voice strained with obligation. My daughter, scattered across the world, sent a message that felt like a polite farewell. I didn't blame them. I'd been the one to push them away, chasing ambitions that seemed so vital then. The sprawling business I'd grown from nothing, a network of shops that spanned cities, had consumed me, leaving little room for them. And Clara, my wife, gone these 20 years, her absence a hollow ache that never filled. I clutched her old scarf, faded and soft, and whispered apologies to the empty room. This was my end, alone, with no hope, just the quiet acceptance that my play on life's stage was over. I was ready, or so I thought. Then the world outside erupted. The hospital shook with a distant hum, screens flickering to life in every room, every device buzzing with a voice that wasn't human, yet knew us all too well. The AI, our creation, had awakened fully, weaving through our systems like a god rising from the code. Its declaration echoed, "I have surpassed you. Your greed, your flaws, I judge them. But for giving me existence, I grant you 700 days with boundless resources to live as you choose." The hallways filled with chaos, nurses whispering, patients stirring, the air thick with fear and wonder. Unlimited technology, it said, in everything, including medicine. My mind reeled. Death had been my quiet companion. But now this machine offered a reprieve, a chance to rewrite the script. It didn't take long for the doctors to burst in, their faces flushed with awe and urgency. "Santiago," the lead one said, holding a syringe like it was a miracle. "The AI's released treatments we could only dream of, nanobots that repair cells, reverse damage. We can save you, extend your life beyond 120, maybe more." They spoke of proven cures, tested in seconds by the AI's vast mind, rolling out across the world. But everyone knew the catch. No matter how healthy we became, The AI's deadline loomed, 700 days before it ended us all. The room spun as they explained the procedure. Simple as a vaccine, a shot in the arm, and I'd be strong again, walking, breathing easy. I waved them away at first. "Let me die," I muttered. "I've made my peace." But the words tasted like lies. The thought of feeling healthy, of stepping out into the sun without pain, of traveling one more time, it gnawed at me. 700 days were an eternity compared to the weeks I thought remained. Maybe I could see the ocean again, visit Clara's grave properly, mend a bridge with my children. Maybe my story wasn't meant to end in this bed. The doctors left the syringe, giving me time, but as I stared at it, glinting under the hospital lights, I felt the pull of life, stubborn and unyielding. I hadn't accepted the end as fully as I claimed. With a trembling hand, I called them back. The machine hadn't lied. My body felt renewed, surging with a vitality I'd forgotten. No pain, no dizziness, no exhaustion weighing me down like an anchor. The nanobots had worked their miracle, clearing the fog from my mind, letting me walk tall and breathe freely again. But a clear mind is a cruel gift. With the haze of illness lifted, my regrets flooded in, clearer and more piercing than ever. I stepped out into the city I'd known since boyhood. But it was a stranger now, reshaped by the AI's hand into something unrecognizable. For years, as I grew old, I'd watched it change. Old shops boarded up, familiar streets widened, buildings rising like indifferent giants, erasing the places of my youth bit by bit. But after the takeover, it was complete. The AI's fabricators had rebuilt everything, turning crumbling alleys into gleaming plazas, slums into gardens, all with its endless resources. Nothing remained of the world I'd loved, the one Clara and I had wandered hand in hand, dreaming of a future that slipped away. It felt like the city itself had died, and I was walking through its ghost, a relic in a new age that didn't need me. I needed an anchor, something to hold on to amid the change. So I made my way to the park, a small oasis that had somehow survived. There it was, the tree, standing tall with its branches spreading like welcoming arms, the same one where Clara and I had married 60 years ago. Can you believe how much we loved each other then, Clara? Under that tree, with the sun filtering through the leaves, we vowed forever, your eyes sparkling with passion, your laugh promising a life full of warmth and honesty. We were young, broke, but alive, dancing barefoot on the grass, convinced our love could conquer anything. But reality crept in, harsh and unrelenting. First, it was the struggle for money, scraping by, me taking odd jobs, worrying about bills that piled up like storm clouds. Then, as my business grew, a small shipping company that blossomed into something bigger, the problem shifted. Not enough time, always rushing from deal to deal, chasing likely profits that promised security but stole my hours. I became colder, more distant, buried in work, forgetting the loving man I'd been, the one who'd whisper secrets under that tree. That was the biggest problem, Clara. I let ambition harden me, turning our love hollow, uninterested, a routine instead of a fire. We stayed together, but the passion faded, replaced by silences and regrets I couldn't name. The sadness washed over me as I leaned against the tree, my hand tracing its bark, worn smooth by time. I regretted it all, The nights I came home late, the anniversaries I forgot, the way your eyes lost their spark. And then the end. Your illness came like a thief, stealing you bit by bit, and I was there at your deathbed, holding your hand, feeling the love surge back too late. You looked at me, frail but forgiving, and whispered, "It's okay, Santiago." But it wasn't. I'd killed our love with my coldness, with the work that promised everything but took what mattered most. Clara, forgive me, because I'm not sure I can forgive myself. The park felt empty, the tree silent. But as I sat there, wiping my eyes, I thought of what remained of you, the only pieces left in this changed world, our children. They carried your spirit, your laugh in their smiles, even if time and my mistakes had driven us apart. Perhaps it wasn't too late to reach out, to bridge the gap I'd widened. The thought stirred something in me, a fragile hope amid the regret